Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be making chicken stock from scratch using our Ninja Foodi Pressure Cooker. The great thing about using a pressure cooker to do this is you can get the same results in about half the time. So you ready? Let's get into this. A basic chicken stock is a lot simpler than you might think. All you need is your mirepoix, which is a fancy way of saying onions, carrots, and celery, some garlic and a few other herbs, and some portioned out chicken. Other than that, all you need is some water and you're pretty much good to go. If you decide you want to go ahead and try this recipe out, all the ingredients and portions are down in the description of the video for your convenience. Okay, for our ingredients, we have our chicken portions. We're using a combination of thighs and drumsticks. We got a couple of medium-sized yellow onions, some carrots, some celery, a little bit of fresh parsley, some whole peppercorns, a little bit of thyme, and some cloves of garlic. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out our chicken portions down in the bottom of the pressure cooker. Make sure you disperse these pretty evenly. I like to use a combination of thigh meat and drumsticks. You definitely want to make sure you have some stuff with bones in it though. Then we're going to go ahead and lay in our parsley, pour in our peppercorns, and also our thyme. Then we go ahead and chop up our carrots. They don't have to be super small pieces or anything like that. Just kind of cut them into maybe 1-inch long portions, just like that. And then we'll go ahead and throw these in. Then we're going to do the exact same thing with our celery. Toss all that in as well. With our onion, we're just basically going to quarter this. We'll cut it into 4 pieces. Like that. And then we'll go ahead and cut the ends off. Like so. And then we'll go ahead and peel off that dry stuff. Just like that. And then these get thrown in there also. Now the only ingredient we got left are the garlic cloves. The best way to get the skin off of these isn't just to try to peel it off, that just takes too much time. Just set it down here on your cutting board, take your knife, put it down sideways on top, and just kind of give it a whack with the top of your hand. And then you'll see it's just kind of split that right off, and all you gotta do is just kind of pull it out, just like that. So we'll just rinse and repeat for the rest of these. Hey, by the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Ta-da! And then we'll just kind of put these in all over the place in here. You might notice that we're not putting any salt in here. That's something I would salt at the very end to season it the way you like. If you put it in here too early, you might end up with salty broth. If you want to put a little bit in there, that's fine, but I would recommend doing it at the end. Now we're going to add just enough water to completely submerge our mix. Just be sure not to go past the max fill line on your pot. Now all we got to do is close this up, turn on the pressure cooker, set it to pressure cook, leave it on high pressure, and we're going to set the timer to 45 minutes. Make sure your pressure relief valve is set to closed, and then you can go ahead and start it up. One tip I have for you is when this gets done, don't release the pressure valve. Let it go ahead and just bring the pressure down all on its own. Otherwise, it's going to upset all the liquid inside of the pressure cooker and you might end up with cloudy broth. It'll still taste fine, but it won't be as pretty.
2 days later.
Once your pressure cook is done and it's been sitting for about 30 minutes or so, the pressure should have released pretty much completely by itself. If you have one of the pressure cookers with a smart lid, it'll actually tell you when it's safe to open it. Once all that pressure's out, we'll go ahead and open this up. And the first thing we want to do is get these vegetables out. So we'll go ahead and pull all this stuff out. These have served their purpose, but they are cooked. So I would probably save them, stick them in the fridge and eat them. Once we got all those vegetables out, then we want to carefully get all these chicken pieces out as well. If you leave a few bits of chicken in there, that's fine because we're going to be straining this anyway. But it's nice to cut that work down as much as possible. Now all this chicken is still perfectly good, so I'll be putting it in the fridge and it's going to be nice little snacks here for the next couple of days. No problem. We want to waste as little of this as possible. Next, you can take some containers or some mason jars or something like this and take a little strainer, put that right over the top. And I'm just going to use a measuring cup to fill these things up. You're going to want to let these cool down a little bit before you try to put the lids on. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Joe's Phenomenal, you can watch a couple more videos, or you can check us out online at joesphenomenal.com. Now all you gotta do is cool it down, put it in some mason jars to store in your refrigerator, or portion them out in the plastic containers and stick them in your freezer. I thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your busy day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me, and I can't wait to see you back again here really soon. So until that time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.